This is going to be an extremely busy month. I have to watch 104 soccer games, follow the pregame, the postgame, yell useless opinions at the TV. It's a lot. So I knew that when it comes to screening for colon cancer, the choice was clear. The Cologuard Plus test. It can be used at home and can only take 15 minutes, so I can do it during halftime and not miss any action. If you are 45 or older and at average risk, ask your healthcare provider about screening for colon cancer with the Cologuard test. You can also request a prescription at Cologuard.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Well, the Mets have a new manager, and they're still losing. They lost 2-1 to the Phillies. The very hot Phillies, by the way. They have really been coming back from a slow start. Phillies beat them 2-1 at Citi Field last night. Zach Wheeler, the former Met, which makes these losses even harder, he dominated the Mets. He pitched for 7 innings, gave up just 4 hits, and struck out 5. The Yankees suddenly hitting a cold spot, and now their lead in the American League East is down to just 1 game over the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. I still call them the Devil Rays. Boston beat them 6-1 last night. Peyton Toll for the Red Sox having an even better game than Wheeler did, although similar. 7 innings pitched just 1 hit and 7 strikeouts. And getting back to the Mets story, Carlos Mendoza fired as manager of the Mets on Friday. The Mets, with one of the highest payrolls in all of baseball, 34-47 before last night's loss, put them at 34-48. That's the easy math. That is where they were, and they were 9.5 games behind even the NL National League wild card berth. So very much out of the race at this point. At the exact midpoint of the season, Carlos Mendoza fired by David Stearns, who is the president of baseball operations of the Mets. He has been replaced by Andy Green, and Andy Green right now has the interim title over his manager role. So we'll see how that continues for the Mets. David Stearns yesterday saying it was a heartbreaking decision for him to lay off a man he considered to be his friend. A lot of World Cup results last night, but I want to start with the Egypt-Iranian game because this was a game that was supposed to be the Pride game, the pro-LGBTQ Pride Month game in Seattle. The problem was the game was between Egypt and Iran, 2 countries with brutal, brutal anti-gay laws, including in Iran where it is a death penalty offense to be gay. Egypt puts you in jail for it and doesn't exactly treat you that well either. And it looks like FIFA came up with a decent compromise for this. They kept all the pride flags and messages in and around the stadium up, but there was nothing on the field. There were no demonstrations on the field, no flags on the field for gay pride, that kind of thing. And by the way, the game ended in a 1-1 tie. Egypt is moving on to the knockout round because of that tie. Iran needs a little bit of help to get into the knockout round. They basically have a 50-50 chance. Other scores real quickly. Dominant France continuing to be dominant, beating Norway 4-1. But both France and Norway are going to advance to the knockout round. Senegal crushed Iraq 5-0. Senegal has a very good chance of advancing, but they'll need a little bit of help. Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, a 0-0 tie, but Cape Verde is advancing. Spain beating Uruguay 1-0. Spain, of course, winning the group and another one of the strong teams. Uruguay, though, which is very often a very strong team, not going to make it to the knockout round. And Belgium beating New Zealand 5-3. That's the last game for New Zealand in this World Cup. Belgium wins the group, so you have that story as well. Developing story out of golf right now for Phil Mickelson, and it's an embarrassing one. Phil Mickelson is being accused of trying to seduce a fellow golfer. His wife, Pat Perez, is his friend. Apparently, his wife, Ashley, is a woman that Mickelson tried to make advances on. Perez is accusing Mickelson of this and accusing Mickelson even more dramatically of sending inappropriate pictures of himself to his wife. Phil Mickelson, of course, has been up and down, health issues, other issues. At one point, he was considered to be the heir apparent or the only real rival to Tiger Woods. Boy, both of those guys have had some personal issues take them down from very, very high points.